Konnichiwa.
This is Stenroth Sword 57. He is the biggest anime fan of all time. He is such an anime fan that he even made his own anime.
No, he's changing his future timeline.
He also makes videos where he teaches people how to speak Japanese.
This is the Japanese word of the week. This week's word is nigeru. Nigeru is a very useful Japanese word. You will use nigeru quite a lot in the Japanese language, since it is very common. Nigeru means to escape or to run away. This word has many different applications. For example, imagine this scenario. You are out late at night partying with your nakamas, and then an evil criminal shows up to rob you. At this moment, you should value your nakamas' lives, and you scream, "Nigeru!"
This is his story.
So let's get into it. Kagebunshi no Yutsu!
Damn.
And then you do it. I can't create a clone, but that's well, we don't have chakra like that in real life, unfortunately. Yeah. It would be really cool to be able to do that in real life, I think.
No, I agree. So you said you would say Naruto is your favorite anime. Let me ask you this then. Yes. Let me get you to the questions that people really want to know. Who would you say is your favorite waifu?
Oh, I've gotten this question over the years. It's a hard question to answer. It changes, and there's so many of them. How can you just have one?
Who would you say is your top though? Like your number one, like bitch. Like who do you think's peak right there?
Well, I wouldn't call them that. I like to be respectful to
I mean female. Bitch in like a redeeming way. Like the women that I'm around, they're okay with being called bitch.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, that's a cultural difference, I think.
Yes, I don't like that very much.
No, but I apologize.
I would say my now back in the day, it was my favorite was Luis from Zero no Tsukaima. That was when I was younger, but that has changed. Definitely, I do think she's a very great character, but I don't have the same attachment as I did back then. Let's see what else. Oh, there's too many to choose from. Tifa from Final Fantasy VII has always been a favorite of mine. And still is to this day.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yes, she was my favorite when I played Final Fantasy VII when I was young, and now that I've played Final Fantasy Remake, she is my favorite again. So it's very interesting. I guess I've come back to her again after all these years.
What do you find about her that's attractive?
Well, she's very nice. She's good at martial arts, which is very cool, and her design is very appealing.
Okay, so
she has a cool design, and well, it's very. I guess it's very pleasing for the male eye as well.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing about me is like I exclusively am only attracted to Asian or anime women.
Okay, yes, that's fair.
Yeah, and I mean that's a preference thing. There's not like a racial divide there. It's just that I mean preference-wise, I'm not attracted to black women. Like it's nothing wrong with that. That's an okay thing to say.
Yeah, I'm not attracted to Western women in general.
Yeah.
Unless they are very respectful of Japanese culture and has a lot of Japaneseness to them, then I could see myself being attracted to a Westerner. But overall, it's just so much work to find someone like that. So for me, I am waiting until I move to Japan before I find a real wife that I will be spending the rest of my life with.
Okay, so your plan is to move to Japan, find a traditional Japanese woman, and then settle
Yes.
down. And then, would you have Japanese kids?
Oh, yes, I'm planning to have 3 kids.
3. Damn. Okay. What if like your kids
Yes.
come out more like Swedish than Japanese? Do you think that would bother you?
No, because we will be growing up in
That's
Japan
true. So
and
the
stay
culturally
staying.
they'd be set. Yeah,
Yes, I
that's true.
wouldn't teach them any Swedish or anything like that. However, I would teach them English because it could be very useful. There's one thing that I think a lot of Japanese people have very many uses for is to have English. However, in Japan, I don't think if they're going to stay in Japan, then there's not really any use to learn English.
Yeah.
But since I have family and stuff outside, they probably want to see their. My mom probably want to see her grandkids. So yes, that's how my plan. And I'm going to have 2 girls and 1 guy.
Damn. Okay. So how do you plan on achieving that? Like affecting gender, I guess. Is there a way to like affect the womb where you can guarantee a gender?
I don't know about that, but I'm sure there's a way. But I am going to be moving out to the countryside of Japan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a lot of beautiful
And
landscape.
yes, it's very beautiful, and it's a very they're very nice in the countryside. I've heard. I've not been to the countryside in Japan yet, but I've heard that they're even more. I heard some Japanese people say that they're more friendly, approachable, and acceptable in the countryside, which was surprised me because they're very acceptable in the city
Yeah.
compared to a lot of other places I've been to in the world. Which I guess from their perspective, they would look at the countryside as being, wow, that's so good. It's much better than here in the city, but they don't realize that they are already better than a lot of places in the world.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the Kanto region, I mean the way that's set up, I mean each section of the Kanto region's like pretty nice, even the countryside.
Yes, I
Let,
agree.
let me ask you another question then, okay? If you could
Mhm.
be teleported right now into any anime, what anime would that be?
Oh, well, of course, my first thought was Naruto.
Of course.
However, there's so many other good ones I could choose. Uh, hmm. It's because Naruto has a lot of conflict in it, and maybe maybe I wouldn't want to fight every other week to defend the Konoha village. Um, or maybe I do. It depends on how much. If I have enough chakra and I can actually use jutsus when I go there, can I use the special moves and stuff from
I feel
that
like you would be able
universe?
to choose whatever you want. Like if you want like a special move set in there, you could be him.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would choose Naruto
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, I would choose like a day in the life anime because I just want to live like a more peaceful kind of day to day, you know? Maybe like the devil's
That
a part timer.
Oh, that's a fun one. Yes, that's a fun idea.
Yeah. A lot of
Mm,
waifu material just in that alone. Really. Um
yes, I agree.
let me see. So okay, let's say this, right? You're put into a zombie apocalypse. There's fucking zombies
Oh,
all over the motherfucking place. It's like high school DxD, whatever the fuck in there. So you got
mm.
you get two choices. You can either
Oh,
have
you,
an
you
AK
you think
47. Oh, what's that?
you think about the High School of the Dead?
That's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, High School of the Dead. So you
Mm.
you get an AK-47, unlimited fucking ammo, like unlimited fucking ammo, or
Is that a gun?
it's an AK-47. It's a like a rifle with unlimited ammo, or
Mm.
a demonic katana.
Oh, so I guess the demonic katana will eat away at your spirit and soul
No, it
when you use it.
curses anyone you hit with it.
Oh, then I would go with that
You would go with the
immediately.
katana over the AK.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I personally have I'm more skilled with the katana than I am with any type of gun.
Okay.
So I don't use guns or anything like that. I have my Wait, where is it? Oh no, I put it somewhere else. I had my Bokken with me, but I seem to have put it somewhere else. Oh well.
The demonic katana can also be brought to you on will. So like if you pulled your hand out, kind of like Thor's hammer, the katana will come to you physically.
Oh, so I can call. Oh wow, that's
can,
really
like,
cool.
You can
That's
call it at any time. It's part of the katana's powers. So,
that's really cool. Yes, yeah. I would go with that.
Okay. So answer me. Okay, I got another question for you. Okay, do you prefer like more like traditional pornography, or do you prefer hentai?
Absolutely, I prefer hentai over live action sexual pornography. Yes, I do. I've talked about this in a video back in the day. It's just been a while now, but I make a comparison between it. Real life live action porn has so bad stories in them, and they're not really fun to watch. There's no, it doesn't feel like a reward once you get to the sexual content. They just want to get to it as fast as possible, and it's not realistic at all, or even an interesting storyline going on. While in hentai, or even in doujinshi, there's a lot of really fun storylines, and the stories themselves are really, really cool. There's some great character designs, and there's some great artists out there that make some really good doujinshi.
Okay, so like, what can you tell me like a brief summary of like one of the storylines of one of the hentais you've seen?
Oh well, for example, let's take an example from just a quick example from a live action pornography from the West or something like that. When they have a storyline, it's usually some guy playing a role, and he's supposed to be. Let's say this is supposed to be a guy and his stepmom in a story, and you have this 30-year-old man with no shirt on, and he has a lot of muscles and stuff, and he's just walking around the house, and then the stepmom walks up, and you see her, and she's like the same age as the guy. They're both around the same age.
Yeah.
And then the sexual content just starts. They barely have any kind of conversation, and there's nothing leading up to it that makes sense.
I've definitely seen some stuff like that before.
Yes, and it's almost embarrassing to watch that they come up with that storyline. It's not even that, it's not good at all. And then if it is a let's say it is a doujinshi, you would get the background of the character. You will get to see the relation to the character they're going to have sexual interactions with. You get to see their dynamic together, how the character lives. Does he have any friends? What's his occupation? And things like that. And it slowly builds up to the moment where the sexual things happen. I find that to be way more rewarding and fun, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think like, to be honest, like hentai does something that like real porn just can't fucking match, bro. Like a hentai bitch, she's literally built for like perfection. But like when you're watching like regular fucking like boring porn, it's like there's always like imperfections in people because no one's built perfectly. But anime characters, they have that capability. They can be drawn perfectly.
Yes, absolutely. There's some great designs in general that are just that come from doujinshi, that are just like, wow, this is just like a great design. That's what's so great about it, is that you could enjoy it, and it could be just like a manga. It's just a manga, a good manga with some sexual content in it.
100%.
If they removed the sexual content, it would still be an entertaining piece.
Yeah,
that is what makes it so. That's what makes it so much better.
Like I need Netflix fucking coming out with pornography, bro. Like I need some like top tier fucking writers making my fucking porn. That's what they don't do, bro. They don't get like they don't get like the directors and shit to like direct
They
some of this
should do
pornography.
that.
I would like if it was like a full on movie like a pornography movie or a show, I would be about that, bro. I would watch it like relentlessly.
I agree. They
But
should do that.
let me ask you this one other thing. Because I did my research, bro. I don't when I do interviews, I come prepared. Okay. So I was on your Twitter and I found something in your liked list, and I want your comments on it. And if you're uncomfortable by this at all, you can tell me no, that you don't want to talk about it. But can you describe to me this photo that I found in your liked list?
Oh, let's see.
Or who that anime character is?
Oh, yes, it's yes, this is from an anime. It's a really heartwarming, fun anime.
Oh yeah. Because the shirt says, "My body is a machine that turns stress into happiness." What would that
mean? That's the whole point. Is that the main character of this series is a very stressed out man who's working out, who works really. He works late into the night. He doesn't have any private life, and he's depressed. And she's there, and she appears at her home one day. She is a tanuki. She's a spirit, and she cooks food for him, and she takes care of him. Makes the bed for him, and she just takes care of him in general. It's a very nice anime that I suggest. I guess wholesome is the best word I can describe it. So yes, it's a very fitting. It's a very fitting kawaii.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny.
Art style. Yes, it's very. I would suggest you check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the name of it?
I like day in the life animes for sure. I've seen Dragon Maid.
Yes, it is a slice of life, so it is very good.
I thought Dragon Maid was cool because they had a lesbian couple as the main characters, which I think is you don't see that a lot in anime. You don't see a lot of Japanese lesbians.
Yes, you don't. That's true. You don't really see that. So that's usually yuri couples aren't very common. So especially in mainstream stuff, if you can call Dragon Maid the mainstream. But what is the name? Oh, here it is. Senko-san. Senko-san. That's what it's called.
I'll have to look that up later.
Yes, it's very. I'll put it in there.
I'll check that out.
Yes, you should. I watched all of it in one go. Once I watched it, I don't know when it came out. I think a few years ago. It's very fun.
Now, the only thing I will bring up, and if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I do have one of your number one fans in the other call who would be interested in talking to you. If you're uncomfortable by that, I completely understand. But if you want, I'll bring him in.
Oh, okay. I'm not uncomfortable. That sounds great.
I don't know him too well, so he's a huge. He told me he was a huge fan of.
So you're a big swordling then.
Yes, I've been following you on TikTok for a while, and Lunar Porks has reached out to me and just randomly chose me that I was going to meet you, and this is like low-key really cool for me. I've been following you for a while now.
Oh, well, arigato.
Definitely.
So as like a fan, do you have anything you want to say to him? Like anything you want to talk to him about?
I do have one question for you, because I'm following your content. I love the characters that you do and the whole thing. And I could sort of like relate to you on like that level because I'm a big anime lover too. But my main question is that were you ever molested as a child?
No. Personally, I was never in a situation like that. However, I know people who were. So I have sympathies for people who go through stuff like that. So yes, but no, personally, no. I never had any kind of stuff like that happen to me. Thankfully.
Okay. Did you have any other questions for him, Lord? Anything else you wanted to ask him?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you have any other concept ideas, like new characters that you're thinking about, new ideas?
Oh, absolutely. I have a ton of ideas because I am I'm slowly working away on my show, Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden. Now, you did say that... Yes, episode 1 is out. And has been
Damn!
out.
Check out
It
episode
has been
1.
Yes, it has been out since 2018. Um, so I'm working on episode 2, but I haven't not been able to get it to a point where I'm satisfied yet. So I'm still working on it. Um, but I suggest you did say that you saw my TikTok and you've been following that.
Yes, yeah, I found you from TikTok. I've been following you
Yeah, the
for
TikToks have been paying off apparently.
a couple months now.
Yes.
Yeah, on TikTok.
Yes. So have you checked out my YouTube channel?
I have checked out your YouTube channel. I haven't watched every video yet, but I am subscribed. I am subscribed.
That's great. That's where my main content is. That's where I put my main focus into.
Okay.
So that's why I want everyone, every fan, every swordling to come over to the my main channel where I do my main content. There will be a big video coming out soon that I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about. It is a topic that many people have been asking for, and they want my input and help on it. So,
well, I'm definitely gonna watch the first episode, and like we talked about previously, if you ever thought about making the show, like making an anime and then making like the same show but as like a hentai on the side, I think that would also bring in a new audience of people.
oh, that's a very good idea. I've never thought about making a. Oh, that would be a live action hentai.
That would be interesting.
Yes, I've never thought about that. That's a good idea. I will have to keep that in mind.
Okay. So I got one last question for you, man. One final question, okay?
Yes.
The creator of Dragon Ball, he passed away recently.
Yes, Toriyama Sensei.
I'm sorry to bring that up, but I want to actually commemorate this interview to him in his honor. And for the final question of the interview, I want to ask you, and you might have been asked this again, but answers change all the time. If you had all the Dragon Balls, what would be your number one wish?
Oh, there's so many questions. Oh, well, right now, if this was me 20 years ago, I would have said I want to become Japanese. Would have been my my first wish.
Yeah.
My one wish. But now I feel I am Japanese enough as it is,
That's
and
beautiful, man.
all I really need is now. This might sound like a greedy wish, but I would just like some money. If I had a source of money, I can just move to Japan right now, and I could start my life there. I already have everything, so I don't feel like I need some kind of special powers or anything else that would improve me, because I already feel strong enough and I already feel high in spirits, and I train martial arts very often. So I think I just need if I had a very high or infinite source of money, I would go with that.
That's a good answer, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I didn't want to keep the interview too long. I wanted to ask the band questions that your hardcore fans have been asking, and
I
keep
see.
it going.
Sayonara.